What's up, and welcome to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. I'm your host, Kat Kozad, manifestation expert, money mindset and fulfillment coach, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur. Come sit with me while I spill the real tea on what it's like to practice using intentional manifestation, demystify all of the woo-woo and confusing bullshit that comes along with creating the life of your dreams, and give you a realistic view of what it's like to be on a personal, spiritual, and professional growth journey. The goal of this podcast is to support and guide you towards manifesting all of your dreams, shed light on the things that people are too scared to talk about, and encourage you to become the person who gets to have it all, be it all, and do it all. I am so happy you are here. Let's fucking do this thing. Have your New Year's resolutions in the past just not stuck with you throughout the entire year? Or do you feel like when you set the intention to manifest something, it is hit or miss whether that thing actually manifests into your life? If so, this is going to be the perfect podcast episode for you, because in this episode, we're going to be breaking down the intention setting process that is guaranteed to have your manifestations come to fruition every single time. What's up, and welcome back to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. If you're new here, I'm so excited for you to tune into this as your first podcast episode, because in this podcast episode, I'm going to be giving you my signature intention setting process that I have not only used for myself to manifest my dream life over the past 3 years, but I've also helped hundreds and hundreds of women now through to manifest their dream lives. And this is the most perfect and opportune time to really start to set these intentions, whether you be listening to this podcast on December 30th, 2022, or whether you find this podcast later on in 2023, 2024, so on and so forth, in years to come. This is going to work for you if you put each and every step into play and you really keep the focus in it. So with all of this being said, first of all, I want to talk about the difference between setting an intention versus a resolution, or setting the intention for something versus wanting something. So when it comes to setting New Year's resolutions, this is like the trendy thing, obviously, to do this time of year. But oftentimes people are setting resolutions because they want to change something, but they want that thing to change in order for them to be able to go back to their old life. So what do I mean by this? A perfect example of this can be like wanting to lose the weight, or getting into the gym, or getting into a better financial position, whatever it may be. Using that first example of like really starting to hit the gym, focus on your health, focus on your fitness, lose the weight, people often put themselves onto these strict, regimented diets, workout plans, whatnot, to try and lose that weight. But the entire time that they're doing it, they're thinking about how they can't wait until they get to stop, how they can't wait until the 30-day plan is over, or the 12-week plan is over, or whatever it is. And that doesn't require them to change their core beliefs about who they are and what essentially they are working towards. They're wanting to go back to that old lifestyle. They're wanting to go back to these familiar patterns of the past. And if you have that in your mind as you are setting intentions, or as you are setting New Year's resolutions, or wanting something in your life, then whatever it is that you're trying to manifest is going to be very temporary. Because in order for you to not only manifest that thing, but then sustain that thing and have long-lasting sustainable results within it, then you're going to have to change your core beliefs and essentially who you identify with and who you are at your core to be able to continue on with those patterns and build on top of them. So this is where big difference comes into play with like setting New Year's resolutions versus intention setting. Intention setting is not just setting the thing that you want to do, saying, okay, I'm going to lose X amount of weight or make X amount of money or whatever it is this upcoming year. And then once I've hit this goal, then I can go back to my old ways, or I can take a break, or whatever it is. Intention setting is really using this process to shift your core beliefs, and again, to shift the identity of like who you get to become. This is a process of becoming, because when we want something, we can sit, wait, wish that it will come into our lives all day long, but it's not going to. Whereas intention setting, there's actually action behind it. There is the part of you that is going out and making this a reality, meeting the universe halfway, as opposed to sitting, waiting, wishing that your manifestation is going to show up. And this is a big misconception that I see when it comes to the manifestation process, and why I'm really hammering in on this a lot of the time, is that manifestation does not magically happen just because you write something in your journal, just because you write out those resolutions, just because you write out your goals. It's not magically going to happen just because you write it down. But you getting your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, and your habits into alignment with the version of yourself who already has the things that you desire to manifest into your life, these things that you're setting the intention for, then that is what you will see. And I'm not going to sugarcoat this, because like I said, this is one of the biggest misconceptions out there when it comes to manifestation, and it's simply not true. The difference between an intention and wanting something is that intention requires action, while wanting something can allow you to stay stuck, stagnant in the same position that you're in right now because it lacks action. And since you are here listening to this podcast episode because you're here to set intentions, the first thing that I would encourage you to take action on as you start to set these intentions is getting into the state of belief that every single thing that you are setting the intention for is possible in your life. Because manifestation without belief is nothing. The basis of manifestation is belief. In order to attract and manifest the things that you desire into your life, you must believe that it is possible for you. And the things that you desire, the things that you are setting these intentions for, the desires that have been placed on your heart are here for a reason. And that reason is because you are the unique individual that is supposed to manifest that thing into your life. You literally incarnated into this human body to manifest the things that your heart desires. And something super cool is that the Latin derivative of the word desire, D, means to long for, to wish for, demand, expect. And then sideus, aka desire, or the sire part of desire, means of the stars, what stars will bring. So quite literally, your desires have been placed on your heart and soul by the universe. You incarnated into this human body to make them a reality. So with this little preface, now we'll actually get into the intention setting process. What I suggest with this is you want to actually write these steps out in your notebook. So whether you pause this podcast episode right now to go and get your notebook, or you listen to it first time through and then go back, get your notebook and write this out, write down this process, because this is what you can come back to literally every single time that you go to set the intention to manifest something into your life. This intention setting process is like, it feels like fucking magic. It's not magic. It's literally like universal law that these things are going to manifest into your life when you follow this. But it is insane how effortless manifestation has become for me through following this intention setting process and really just knowing that this is what I am doing every single time that I am choosing to believe that I can manifest something and setting those intentions for myself. So first thing that you want to identify when you are setting an intention is what it is that you want. So what is it that you want? Get super fucking clear on what it is that you want for yourself and for your life. Create the vision of whatever it may be, the home, the career, the amount of money, the dream partner, the freedom, the business, whatever it may be, write it down, visualize it, feel into it, and truly like get into the state of looking at it as if it is your life right now. So a few prompts that you can ask yourself if you're unclear on what it is that you want right now, because it's also okay if there's not a crystal clear vision of what it is. You don't have to have the nitty gritty details sussed out in order for you to attract and manifest this thing into your life. But what I always suggest is like, if you don't know what you want, I have a really good feeling that you know the things in your life that you're unhappy with. And once you can identify those things that you're unhappy with, you can almost reverse engineer like, okay, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. What is the opposite of that? Or what is something that is better feeling than that? And starting to do that process to reverse engineer to get to the place of like, okay, I can create this clarity and vision on the fact that like, I want a more fulfilling career. I want more money. I want more freedom. I want more love. I want more connection, whatever it may be. And setting that as the intention and asking yourself, first of all, like, what do you want? What do you intend to manifest? And then once you have written those things out, write it out as if it's already happening now or as if it's already happened. And this is a manifestation process called scripting. And scripting is essentially the act of talking about or journaling about your intentions, the life that you're wanting to manifest in the past or present tense. And the reason that you do this is because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So when you're in the state of talking about your desires and what you're wanting to manifest in the present moment, or as if it's already happened, then you're priming your subconscious mind to believe that that gets to be the reality for you, simultaneously while emitting the energy out into the universe that is something that you are a vibrational match for, and by the universal law of attraction will then attract those like vibrational things into your life the more that you remain in that vibration. So again, step 1 is getting clear on knowing what you want. Second step of the intention setting process is having a really strong why. Why do you want what you want? And the reason that it's important to create a why for your intentions is because that why adds a fuel to the fire. If there is not purpose behind our desires, it is oftentimes easy to let them fall to the wayside when things get hard. So when things are easy, it's easy for us to think about like why we want something, why we're going to put our focus and attention into it, why we're creating this life and manifesting it and moving towards it. But when things are challenging, it's so much more challenging to actually remember that why. So get emotional with this, like truly dig down deep into yourself and ask yourself, why is it so important for you to attract and manifest this thing that you are wanting into your life? Why do you have the desire to make it happen in the first place? And on those days where it's hard and it would be easier to give up on them, why are you going to continue to push forward? So asking yourself, like, why is this important to me? And how would manifesting this thing into my life not only benefit me, but the people that I care about most in my life? Why is it important for you and for the world for you to manifest this thing into your life? Which then leads us into step 3. So step 3 is understanding and asking yourself, how would having this manifestation change your life? And again, the point of this is to really connect to the emotional side of why it's important for you to manifest this thing into your life and help you really identify like what emotional state you could and would be in if this thing had already manifested it into your life. So one of the most important parts of the manifestation process is our emotions, because our emotions are the most powerful way that we communicate with the universe and then attract back in like vibrational things, people, circumstances, whatnot into our lives to help support our manifestation. So oftentimes in the manifestation process, you'll hear people talking about like feeling into the end result. Asking yourself this question of like, how would this manifestation change my life, gives you the opportunity to look at like, okay, what would be different? Like if I had manifested, let's say the money that you're wanting to manifest, how different do you think you would feel on a day-to-day basis? Would you feel safe, secure, free, like you have the ability to go and travel and do the things that you're wanting? And if that's the reality, then like really creating that vision for yourself so that you can feel into those feelings of safety now. Feel into those feelings of security now. Feel into those feelings of freedom now. Because that is how you start to align yourself and your vibration with the frequency of what you're attracting and manifesting into your life. And a lot of the times the world teaches us this backwards, where it's like, when I see it, then I'll believe it. But in step 3, you're really stepping into the energy of like, I will believe it. I will feel into the emotions of the end result. I will truly tap into the energy of how different my life is going to feel and be. And as a byproduct of that, it will appear in my life. It will show up. So asking yourself throughout this again, how would having this manifestation change my life? And if this manifestation showed up today and changed my life today, how would I feel? What would be different than how I'm showing up and how I am feeling today? What emotional state would I find myself in if I already had this manifestation? And then continually bringing yourself back to these emotions as often as you possibly can, which leads us into step 4. And this is questionably the most important step of this intention setting process. Step 4 and step 5 are, in my opinion, the most important steps of this intention setting process. So step 4 is what a lot of people in the world of manifestation will say, acting as if, and you can't see me, but I'm putting this in quotation marks, acting as if. I like to call it embodying the version of yourself who already has your manifestations. So this right here, again, in my opinion, is the secret sauce of manifestation, because it's about you becoming the embodiment of that future version of yourself or higher version of yourself who already has the desire of what you're wanting to manifest into your life. So what do I mean by becoming the embodiment of the version of yourself who already has your manifestation? What I mean by this is you are showing up as the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, most confident, most badass, most abundant version of yourself. The version of yourself that already knows that they are worthy of receiving their desires. That version of you that has that unshakable vision and unwavering faith in the fact that you get to receive every single thing that you want. That version of yourself that walks the walk and talks the talk. That version of you who so fully believes that every single thing that you are seeing for yourself and for your future right now is a part of your reality already. Like you showing up as that bitch. Like you are her. You are already this version of yourself that you visualize and put yourself on the pedestal for. It's like, no, you are already her. So showing up and being her. Showing up and being her every single day before there is any actual physical evidence of the fact that you should, quote unquote, show up as that version of yourself. And this is one of the many paradoxes of manifestation, because again, instead of depending on this old, dusty, rusty belief of when I see it, then I'll believe it, it's time for you to adopt this like rock star, badass, abundant belief of I'll believe it and then I'll see it. I'll embody it, I'll be it in my internal world. I will hold it close to me and then I will see it. Because that is how manifestation actually works. We must experience it on an internal level first before we see it in our external reality. And if you are new to the world of manifestation, this is going to be a new concept to you. But if you've listened to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show, and if you've heard me talk about this before, every single thing in our life is a manifestation of something we've experienced internal first. So looking around yourself right now, looking at your life, looking at your emotional states, looking at your thought patterns, looking at your relationships, your finances, everything, you manifested this from your internal world first. So this position of embodying what it is that you desire in your life, really creating that vision for yourself and then showing up as the version of yourself who has the life that you want before your external reality tells you, again, quote unquote, tells you you should feel that way, is the key to you shifting the energy that you are attracting and manifesting into your life, all of the external things that you're experiencing. And with time and with consistency, you will see the different people, opportunities, situations, things, etc. come into your life as a byproduct of you being the embodiment of it. You must be willing to adopt this new and greater way of thinking, talking, behaving, feeling, being on a daily basis so that you can become that version of yourself who gets to have it, as opposed to, like I was saying at the very beginning of the episode, it's like a lot of the times people set goals or resolutions or whatever it is because they want to achieve something so that they can go back to their old life. This is kicking your old life out of the picture because you are manifesting something so much greater than anything that your old life could have given you. You're not doing this just because you get to go back to your old life afterwards. You're doing this so that you can become the greatest version of yourself and continue to manifest bigger, better, and more abundant things because of it. So as you are going through and really getting clear on who this version of you would be, who this embodiment is and who you get to step into and become, a few different questions you can ask yourself to really get clear on this is, one, what would I choose to be true about myself and about my life if I already had received my desires? So getting clear on what beliefs you would have about yourself and about your life if you already received all of your desires. What behaviors would I choose to embody? What lame and unsupportive behaviors would I choose to kick to the curb? How do I want to show up for life every single day as the highest and greatest version of myself? What beliefs and actions support me being the highest and greatest version of myself? Where am I currently selling myself short? And if I was able to fully commit to myself and my desires, leaving all littleness and all excuses behind, what would I create for myself and for my life? So again, getting very clear, going back, listening to those questions, writing them down, answering them for yourself, getting super clear on all of the answers that come up for you, and then slowly but surely taking these answers and incorporating them into your life on a daily basis. Not just doing it once and then forgetting about it like old traditional, like misconstrued manifestation resources will tell you to do. The real focus comes in on you becoming the embodiment of your manifestations on a daily basis, which leads us into step 5. And this is the final step of this intention setting process, which is taking inspired action. Taking inspired action is where you bring it all together. This is where you get to show the universe that you mean business and that you are taking responsibility for meeting the universe halfway within your desires. So a lot of the times people get really confused when it comes to taking inspired action, when it comes to the manifestation process. And this is how I want you to think about inspired action. So you could be wanting to manifest a cake. And you're sitting, you're waiting, you're wanting, you're wishing that the universe would show up and give you this cake. But instead, you set this intention and the universe brings you the flour, the eggs, the milk, the butter, the frosting, the whisk, the oven, the pan, literally everything that you would need to make that cake. And if you were to not take action by mixing all of those ingredients together, whipping that shit up, putting it in the oven, baking it, frosting it, doing the steps to actually bring all of these pieces together, that is essentially you sleeping on your manifestations. And that is also essentially like you bitch slapping the universe, because the universe is always trying to guide you and support you. It's always delivering your manifestations to you. But oftentimes you have to be the one who takes the action to place these pieces of the manifestation equation together. So taking this inspired action within whatever it is that you set the intention for to meet the universe halfway. So whatever that may look like for your intention, for your life, for what you're wanting, take action on it as if you couldn't fail, as if it was your only option. Because the more direct and like potent energy that you put behind your actions and your intentions, the easier it's going to be for you to attract and manifest that thing into your life. When you're in this like back and forth wishy-washy place of like, like I don't really want to take action. Like, what if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I'm not good enough? What if X, Y, and Z? Then that's sending really weak energy out into the universe, and it's going to make manifesting that thing back into your life a lot more challenging. Whereas if you approach your inspired action from the energy of like, there's no way I can fail. There's no way I can fuck it up. I don't care if people judge me because this is my heart's calling. This is my soul pulling me towards this. I am good enough. I am worthy. Of course, because I have this desire, it is meant for me. That is very strong energy that is being emitted out into the universe, and by the universal law of attraction will attract back in the things that you desire into your life. So with all of these steps, really going through and being intentional with these things, not only once, not only as we start this new year, stepping into 2023, but continually. Recognizing day in and day out as you're in this process of manifesting the things that you desire into your life, if you're still clear on the vision of what it is that you want, if you're still connected to your why, if you still understand how it would change your life and what those emotions of living in the end result would feel like, giving yourself the opportunity to feel them as often as you possibly can. Being the embodiment, being the version of yourself who acts within the behaviors, who has the habits, who has the beliefs, who has the emotions, the relationships, the environment to support that manifestation. And if not, shifting and changing to align with what would support it. And then lastly, taking the inspired action so that you are meeting the universe halfway within this manifestation. You are sending that strong, energetic signature pull out into the universe and allowing what you want, your desires, to come back into your life through the universal law of attraction because of this. So there you have it. That is my signature intention setting process that I have used to manifest my dream life in the past 3 years. And I've now taught to hundreds and hundreds of women to help them manifest their dream lives as well. And if you are wanting more, you're wanting to dive deeper, you're wanting to make 2023 be the year that you manifest all of the things that you want, completely change your reality, then you are going to want to get on the wait list for the Abundant AF Babe Academy, because doors are opening for enrollment for the Abundant AF Babe Academy in February. I haven't released the date in February just yet, but doors are opening again in February. And if you know that doing the same things over and over again, the things that you've done from the past that aren't creating the change that you desire to see, are not going to get you what you want, and you know that in order to have a life that you've never lived, you have to do things that you've never done, then you will want to put your name on the waitlist for the Abundant AF Babe Academy. The waitlist always gets a discount on their investment to the program, but you can find the link to that down below in the show notes. Put your name on the waitlist. If you have any questions about the Academy, you can also shoot me a message over on Instagram. But I am so excited for all of you to step into 2023 with this ridiculously powerful intention setting process. And I am cheering for you. I'm supporting you every single step of the way. I'm so excited for all that's to come for this show in the new year. And I'm sending you all of my love. Oh my gosh, thank you for listening to today's episode. I'm so grateful to have these no bullshit talks with you. If you enjoyed today's episode or the podcast as a whole, please spread the love by leaving me a review on iTunes or sharing the podcast with others. This is how I will be able to spread more of these good vibes and be able to make more of an impact on the lives of others. And if you're not already part of all of the goodness and communities that I have to offer, check out the show notes. I have links to the different ways that I can support you on your manifestation journey and help you live a life full of more money, fulfillment, and freedom. But that is all for now. So big love and hugs, and I will chat with you soon, babe.